Harwich Cemetery Commission to order at 9:01. And the first thing is you approve the minutes from March 7th. We can't do July 11th because I was not here and we don't have a quorum for
All
that.
right, so I move that we approve the minutes from July 7th
March 7th.
March 7th as printed.
I second that. All in favor?
So, aye.
It's approved.
Unanimous.
Unanimous. Now we got an email from Sue Paste, passed from ArborNet.
Yeah, so we were approved for our level 2 accredited status through ArborNet. And they sent us a packet for us to fill out so that we can do a press release. And I am going before the Board of Selectmen, not this coming Monday, but the following Monday, to give them the press release and to talk about the accreditation. So in here, it's just, I think it's on the 3rd page. It says doing publicity. It says one way to get out the news. And then they give you a little insert your logo here, type of page. It says your institutional name and then your accreditation and all of this information. We did this the last time and I just put in all the information that I have. That's the first paragraph of the Arboretum that was in the application packet
Is
last
that what I
time.
reviewed the other day? You sent it to me to,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
it's fine, yeah.
So, I just wanted you guys to be aware of this, and we'll be sending this, to the Board of Selectmen after we, finish the letter.
And that's because it's a press release, they want to see it first?
No, I didn't have a chance to go before them, and they're meeting every other week.
Oh.
So, I wanted to go before them and make sure that we know. I did meet out with Russ Norton, last week, and we screwed in a lot more of the tree tags, and we identified quite a bit more trees that we don't have on the list, that we need to get on the list. Still waiting for Blue Flax Design to go out. We have a lot of poison ivy in one area, so I can't get in there to identify what's in there. So they're supposed to be going out there and doing some remediation work, so as soon as we have that finished, we will move on from there.
An email from Jan Moore.
Jan is the secretary for the Harwich Community Preservation Committee, and our next submission deadline is October 2nd at 4 o'clock. So I am working, I told you guys at the last meeting that I was working at doing a probably just the beginning preliminary legwork to do a raised platform walking trail in the Cedar Swamps, which was started many years ago when Amy Uzowski had put together a inventory of the Island Pond Conservation Land. BSC Group did the initial evaluation of that property, and because we have the Cedar Swamp there, they did a little area that they were recommended for us to do a raised platform viewing area that would be handicap accessible for people to come down the trail and be able to go up there. So we are looking at potentially submitting that if we can get it all together. I did talk to HTC about it as well, and they thought it was an excellent idea. I don't know if they'll be involved, but at least we'll have the letter of support. So I'll be working with that with Amy Uzowski and with Mike, so.
Is that because it's in the,
Part of the property is on
Arboretum?
conservation land and part is in the Arboretum, so we're, the
Working
cemetery,
together?
so we're working together
Okay.
as our,
I was just trying to figure out what we had to do with.
yeah, and it's all
raised lot.
wetlands, so we would
I think we
want,
discussed that
Yeah.
like 2 months ago, two
Yeah.
meetings ago.
Yeah.
It came up briefly that since it was we were part of it, it was,
right,
but
Well, I
a
understand
three-way
that, so.
participation would be a lot better.
yes, I think
It'll
so,
just get it going, because I'm sure these guys
yeah,
have a little bling they could probably help with.
yeah. So there, I did speak to them and I showed them the submission, BSC group again, just to do the initial, how much it would cost if this project to move forward. And then they would do all the legwork with remediation. There's a lot of invasive species right as you go down to the trailhead, which they probably want removed anyways, and we could put in some nice native stuff. And then, so you can't really see the island pond itself because it's covered with vegetation. So to get the kids in there to see the cedar swamps would be great, rather than having them go down to East here. So I'll keep you guys, at the next meeting, I'll probably have a lot more information.
Okay, when is that gonna be due by?
October the 4th.
Okay, there seems to be plenty of time.
We'll have 2 meetings in between then.
All right, and the next one is a fax from Jackson Hibbert on Pine Grove lots.
Yeah, Jackson Hibbert used to oversee the Pine Grove Cemetery, and when it was transferred over to the town. And he had acquired a lot from one of the people who were there originally. Shirley Stevenson signed it over to him. And then he sent us the bill of sale. He'd like to sell this lot back to the town. The initial cost is acreage, it was $400. So we would give him back his $400 check, and then we could resell those acres, which now are $800 a piece. So I would need a motion to,
I make a motion that we repurchase the lot 323 from Mr. Hibbert
I
and
think
Shirley
it's,
Stevenson.
I think it's 325. Is it 325?
323,
Oh, 323, okay.
for $400. And then make that lot available.
I second the motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Any other business of any kind?
Not that I can think of right this moment, but we might. So then also, oh, I'm sorry, you want to do the next thing?
We get the up-to-date totals for the revolving account under old business.
Oh, you know
Is
what?
that in here?
Cemetery
I
budget.
actually left those on my desk, I'm sorry. So I do not have those, we're gonna have to do those next time. I did not bring them over, which is unfortunate, because I did
Rockland
copy
Trust
them
then.
over.
Trust is something different then?
Rockland Trust is our perpetual care account.
Good grief.
So you emailed her?
I did, I CC'd you.
Did not.
Okay, now we get an email from Jan
Wait,
Moore.
hold on, we're just gonna go over this real quick. Okay,
Supposed to go in phones.
we're both looking at
Oh,
emails.
here we go. I just got it.
Okay,
Um,
oh, she sent.
Yeah, so she said, it came at 8:52. It'd be easier if we have a discussion or Teams meeting to address these questions. I would like to understand what you're trying to accomplish. Free till 1 today and most of tomorrow, if you can provide me with a good time or call schedule. So how would you do this with her? Would you, where is
So
she?
you, all 3 of us would be on Teams. She's at Rockland Trust.
Where?
Um,
Chatham?
I have no idea.
Yes, that's what I meant. So would this be a phone call or do I?
No, it'd be on the computer.
So we'd have her come to next meeting.
No, I
No,
don't think
that's-
so.
That's just gonna drag this thing out.
No.
No, this is just a couple of questions.
Yeah,
This is-
we just want to ask her questions.
So what's the best way to do this?
We could be on a phone call with her, and we could just ask her the questions
I mean, that's
about
really.
rebalancing.
Yeah, I mean, they're pretty, I just don't,
Okay,
how do you rebalance our account? I don't know why she can't answer these questions, but how to, anyway,
okay.
I want to say something out of turn here, but. All right, so could you set up something and
Sure.
I'll come over to your office, or 3 of us or 4 of us can?
I think it only can be one of us. If you have more than one, then that's a quorum. So
So
could be
you
me,
and
me and you and
All right.
her. Okay.
Unless you
When
want
I
to do
show
it.
up then. Now you seem to know more about all that.
Yeah.
I hired someone just to take care of all this crap for me.
Well, but the big questions I have is, I think that we are just a small pot of a bigger pot, and we have our percentages in this bigger Harwich Trust pot, okay? And then I think they rebalance technically based on their financial information. The only thing that I can't really see in our statement is, by law, Robin can only spend income.
Yep.
Yeah.
We don't know
So
what
that
is.
needs to go someplace so we can track it and have a pool for you to
Right.
spend from.
Right.
And I don't think, the last time they rebalanced, it looked to me like they rebalanced including the money market fund. Because we had said we'd like the money market fund to be at whatever it was, 10 or 20%
Right.
of the total. Well, if that happens, then we're constantly,
Mixing.
we're taking money that was earned and sticking it back into investments, which we really don't want to do.
Should they set up a separate account just to put all the
Well, I think what we want to do is.
like
we-
say the dividends just go here and you don't touch that stuff.
Yeah, or we just say the money market account is not to be considered for rebalancing, and all dividends and income get deposited in the money market account, and then
And
if
that's
the
our
war chest
spendable.
builds, and it's very easy for Robin to go, oh, I get $60,000.
That
Yeah.
sounds like a reasonable
Okay.
rate to do
So, I
that.
mean, this should be like a 5-minute phone call, not a,
Yeah.
2-hour discussion,
yeah.
Yeah.
hopefully.
Hopefully.
If not, I'll send coffee over or something.
Thank you.
Okay, email from Jan Moore on update status report on CPC articles.
Okay, so we did get another email from Jan. She's a very busy girl, obviously. And on Thursday, September the 7th, I will be going before their committee to give them a report on all 3 of our outstanding CPC articles. One is the Veterans Memorial Circle, which will be pretty close to being installed. The East Harwich Union Cemetery, which we have a bill in here already. I don't know if you've been out there, but they've been doing tremendous work. We did remove the trees over there through the DPW, and I have reached out to Mike to have him place the memorials back where they should be. And then the Revolutionary War Project, which is, I'm still vetting the names. Pretty close to being finished, and I should be finished before September 7th, hopeful. And then I can put it out to bid. I can't put it out to bid till I have all of the names vetted and spelled correctly, because it could change how much it costs, so. And you don't want to send it out again,
No.
all right?
And now, do we have another cemetery you want to do headstones in after they finish the?
I think I'm gonna take a break until we finish up the Revolutionary War. Because it's due October the 4th, and I'm already gonna submit one article for that. So then I think the following year, we should do it on the cemetery.
Yeah, 'cause the
I
North Tower
actually,
Cemetery has a few that could be.
yeah, we could do some of those on our own, if it's a smaller amount, we could use either the interest from this perpetual care account, or we could use some of the cemetery revolving account. But when we do a larger one, like when we do Evergreen, the older section in Evergreen is in pretty bad shape. I was just inventorying some of the stones over there. I think we should probably do that one next. I mean, and we always have some in Island Pond, but I have to say Evergreen has probably the most right now that need repair.
Because the North Harwich has got it there. You've ever had that ceremony for
They
the
did,
plaque?
they did, you missed it.
Is the plaque up?
Yep, the plaque
Right
is
at
up.
the corner of the roads.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was the same, was like, when did that go up?
Yeah, so they,
It's on the front corner. We were going to put a tree to block.
yeah, so we have to still address the signs there. There's still people putting up signs at the corner of the road, and they cannot be there, so. I did talk to Brian, he was gonna see if we could move those signs to the other corner across the way. The street sign and all the other signs, because there, people are hanging signs on the street sign. For the
Oh, to
bike.
move the intersection
Yes.
sign?
Yeah,
To move it to the north side of the intersection.
Yeah.
On the same side.
yeah. But he's gotta,
Isn't that a person's house?
yeah, but we own the,
We have easement?
yeah,
The first 10 or 15 feet off the road.
That's probably the easiest thing,
yeah,
and that way we don't have conflict with
yes.
other people.
We've been down that conflict road before.
Everybody needs a street sign, I have one. It's tipping over. and-
Email from Faith Ellis, the Brewster CPC.
Yes, so I did have, I emailed Faith back and forth, she's very lovely, and spoke to her with her on the phone. I did submit my article to them, and she wanted some more information, which then I sent to her more information, although at her meeting, she said I didn't send it to her, but I did, I emailed her. Anyways, their opinion is that it doesn't meet their historic guidelines. We used, and if you look at our application, when we submitted it, we used undesignated funds for our CPC article, not historic, and they only had historic funds available. So they felt that it did not meet their definition of historic, which they got from their council. Because it's a brand new project and not an existing memorial, that, it just doesn't meet the criteria. So unfortunately, they are not gonna be able to assist us. There are people in the Brewster community that is going to, though, apparently. So I'll reach out to them. I don't know if you remember, at one of the meetings, maybe it was in February, there was a gentleman that is from Brewster that wanted to get involved in this project. So I'm gonna reach back out to him. He's also friends with Duncan.
Okay.
And, so we will see which one of their, residents will be able to contribute to the memorial. So I'll still be working at getting other, donations. It's just their CPC won't be able to assist us this year.
Okay, then we get veteran memorial phases.
So the Veterans Memorial phases, so we are still waiting for Tom. So the phases are that we're gonna get the granite delivered. I did, no,
Okay.
that's still on my desk. They're gonna get the granite delivered, and then we have already reached out to Hamco. Hamco has reached out to Tom. They're gonna give them a 2-week in between. I think we have to move because the lights are starting to go out. And then, what will happen then is they'll go and they'll put in their footings for their flagpoles, and then Tom will have the granite delivered. So Tom is in coordination with them right now. I did, when we were doing the minutes of the meeting, last meeting, I was looking over, and I know that you guys had expressed interest on the stamped concrete for the pathway for the Veterans Memorial pathway, the Walk of Remembrance.
Yeah.
So even though that is a little bit far out in the distance, I think we probably want to start looking at different vendors who do that and try to get examples of that as we are moving forward, just so we have an estimate of how much it's going to cost.
To do stamped concrete?
On the pathway only, so on the pathway leading from where the Revolutionary, we'll do the founding of the town, and then we thought we were gonna walk a little, and then we would do the Revolutionary Memorial, and then so on, as each memorial goes down.
And the founding of the town, this is a plaque?
No, it's just not a plaque, it's just in the concrete. And we could do that they could put the seal, just like the seal that we have on all the flags.
Can we get the Historical Society to pick up some of this?
We can see if we can reach out to some people about that as well.
Talk to Lynn, she's good at getting some
Yeah,
stuff.
Lynn is good.
The only,
I talk to her every day.
so after that meeting, when we discussed the stamped concrete, the only thought that I had was if we ever wanted to install a granite step or something like
Yeah.
that, then the concrete has to be
Cut,
dug.
yeah. So
I
they,
don't know if that's a big deal. or not.
I don't think it is, because when they came in and I actually put a new window in my house, they cut the concrete with a saw, and they just took out that piece, and it was
It's just a
fine.
diamond wheel.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And if the bricks are all cut, so the running bond pattern goes across the sidewalk, then you got a line here, cut,
Oh, okay.
and be done with
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
Aviator,
yeah.
It should be done. Yeah, I know
not mechanically inclined.
it. I know, all you do is fly stuff.
So as soon as I get more updates from Tom and Hamco when their installation will go, oh, on that note too, Hamco asked if we could have Paul Sweetser go out again, which I'm gonna need a vote on this, to actually flag the spots where the flags are going. So before that happens, they would like us, and we're not gonna have them do it now because it's not gonna be for another 4 or 5 weeks, but I'll have to coordinate with him.
I think we might want to all go for that.
Yeah.
So that we kind of agree on the point of focus.
Yeah,
which, remember the,
Yeah.
and actually, you know, we have the, we have the bandstand.
Yeah.
What's it called?
The gazebo.
The gazebo, thank you. So if the gazebo is looking at the circle
Right.
and the American flag is there, then everything, if you're gonna go symmetrical, would go
Off that line.
imaginary north, south, east, west.
Yeah, yeah.
Not true north, south,
Yep.
but that's the straight line. And we have 6 flags,
Yeah.
so you're gonna go like this, you know?
And you got 2 more. to
Except
take in there.
you gotta
Yeah,
divide it
yeah,
up
yeah, yeah,
differently, yeah.
You probably want to move this one over a little
Right.
bit here,
Well,
a
I
little
know,
bit, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just saying that
Yeah.
if that's your point of reference. But no matter where you're standing as a guest.
There'll be a little bit of
There's
something.
always gonna be asymmetry, so.
So, the other thing is, so I'm gonna need a motion, because we're gonna be expending more money to get Paul to go back out there, so
How
that.
much roughly?
I don't know, he only charged us like $2,000 last time, and that was to do the whole thing, to lay it all out, but this is just to go out and put flags in, so I'm sure it's not gonna be that much.
I'll make a motion that we get Paul Sweetser to go on and mark out exact placement of the flag posts before installation.
With board members in attendance.
Okay,
Yes, with board members in attendance.
I second that.
All in favor?
But
It's unanimous.
just to be in the.
It'd be kind of silly if I proposed it and wouldn't vote for it, wouldn't it?
members present. Okay.
You know, Robert's rules, I think we could also just say any objections.
Yeah.
And if there being none, it's unanimous.
Yeah.
We don't have to
We don't have to go that route. That's fine.
orally vote, except. Anyway,
So then we had the tree tags. So I already explained, me and Russ went out and tagged a whole bunch of the trees again. We are short on some of the trees. We need to order a couple more. Like the black oaks, we have 1 million black oaks, but we only put them in one part of the cemetery. So when you're on the other side of the cemetery, the black and white oaks, which are right next to each other, are not tagged, which now I'm starting to learn what they are, but most people probably don't know the difference. Just looking at,
Probably the leaf shape is basically.
and a little bit of the bark. But anyway, so I'm probably gonna order some more of those at some point, but I'm gonna wait until we get all of the new tree tags done, because some of them will have to have artwork done. I am gonna reach out to, God, what's the new building called? 204, Sisson?
the 204.
No, 204. To see if we can get some artists interested in sketching the leaves of the new trees, so that we can add those to our inventory. So excited about that, and it's looking good.
Good.
And the Pine Grove fence update.
So I did I put that in here?
I see pictures of the Lothrop one.
It might be my additional stuff. So. Oh, and I did have the. So I emailed him, because he said, the last meeting, he said he'd be out there in 3 weeks. So I emailed him again and said, have you been out to Pine Grove? And he said, I have not. And we got caught up because of the storm that came through and a whole bunch of people's fences went down. So I swear we'll be there in 2 weeks. That's what he said to me on Monday. So hopefully in the next 2 weeks, he will be there and that'll get finished. And at least the fence will be closed up. So that's
And the
all I can do
Lothrop-
about that.
And the Lothrop fence.
Yeah, that came out nice.
So the Lothrop fence, we went out there, me and Mike, and we cleared the whole thing. He got poison ivy all over himself. I saw him at the last day of the AmeriCorps presentations when they did their graduation, and he's like, I have poison ivy everywhere. So we cleaned the whole place out. I ironically did not get poison ivy this time. And then we installed the fence. So I think it came out excellent.
It looks
And,
nice.
yeah, it looks really nice.
Should we spray the weeds in it just to keep the maintenance down?
I don't know if we can, because this
Oh, 'cause
is
it's a
conservation land, so, which is unfortunate. But, yeah, it came out nice, and I'd still like to dig around at some point if I ever get a spare day and find the other piece of that monument that's broken off, because it's probably there somewhere.
So there's only 2 people buried there that you know?
Yes, yeah, that we know of. Doesn't mean that means that there's only 2 people
Are we
buried.
put a sign there?
We can't, I don't know if we should put a sign all the way in there, or we should put it at the street.
Well, I thought when we did the tour.
We were thinking of putting the sign.
You want to do one in
I thought
there?
we decided.
I am afraid it'll get vandalized. You don't
On the
think it?
trailhead or
Yeah,
deep
yeah.
in the woods?
Deep in the woods.
Oh, I would put it at the trailhead.
Oh, okay. All right.
Or the little parking area, and since it's not in front of the cemetery and
Yeah.
it's not highly traveled, and we don't want to really draw
Yeah.
vandalism attention to it, I think it should be a small sign.
Okay.
Small sign, maybe just say 0.5 miles or something. I'm not
Yeah.
even giving that.
Yeah,
Whatever the,
I mean, I think that one could do with so if I remember right, so we had this it's the parking area,
Yeah.
here's Lothrop.
yeah.
And then the
dirt road
trailhead is like here.
is on the left-hand side of it.
Was it
Yeah.
the left was the trailhead and then went
Yeah,
backwards?
because you
this way?
can,
Yeah,
it meets
yeah.
up,
Yeah,
that other
So-
trailhead meets up with it.
yeah, so,
So they already have a sign
right. I'm trying- I can't
there,
remember
and
what
I'm
that
trying to
looked
think if we could hang a sign underneath it that just says
like. Yeah,
cemetery.
we could run over there real
Yeah.
quick when we're done.
Yeah, when we're done, we can
Just
go
a
there.
just a quickie road trip
Okay,
and
We'll take a
then
pic.
amend the minutes accordingly.
okay.
Is that okay? Anybody have
Yep.
any place to go?
Nope.
Nope.
Bingo.
All right, so then,
Bank Street looks good too.
Oh, no, I disagree. I think Bank Street looks like garbage.
Well, I just see it from a distance, like
I know.
flying by.
Well, I'm just saying because it's a cemetery and I see, and I think I've said this, I look at that cemetery as if I either live there, or across the street.
yeah,
So yes, it's no longer a chunk of woods and now it's a cemetery with a fence and it's gonna have a sign and it's gonna look nice. But as soon as I look approaching the fence, I go, this needs to be a lawn or a parking or wood chips or
Yeah.
something to clean it up. And then inside, it's just a matter of Jim having a bad set of weather days and it's gonna be full of,
yeah,
it's gonna be constantly needed to be, what's that thing, a gravely to
right.
whack it down. But again, we can't do a lawn, but I don't know, when I drive by it, I just kinda go.
I'll ask him, should I
There's
ask him
other
what he
options.
has it on for mowing schedule? I know he's out straight with all the rain.
Oh, yeah, it's gonna be tough for me
I
to
mean,
keep up,
it's-
but, and this is where I throw up my hands and go, I don't know what else to do. I mean, it's either, it's a lawn that's maintained, cause it's a
So
cemetery.
we
but-
could also do a AmeriCorps project where we have them do almost like at the front, you know how it has that one big tree? Then we could put mulch all around there, maybe do some plantings.
Well, I'm all for mulch in the front, I mean, but again, if
But
you've got this.
the inside, we
neighbor-
gotta figure out what we can do to maintain it, 'cause it's just
Yeah.
gonna grow that wild ivy and
Yeah.
shenanigans again.
I mean, spend a fortune Vinca would be very nice, but you gotta get rid of everything
Else.
that's gonna grow taller than Vinca.
Yeah,
There's a lot of Vinca on the rail trail, and it doesn't get overgrown. Yeah, you get the occasional Queen Anne's lace or something popping
Yeah.
up through it, but, I mean, and I don't wanna sound crass, but it's a single gravesite that we know of,
right,
but it's in the middle of a nice neighborhood.
right.
So, I just think we have some responsibility, but tempered with it's one gravesite.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do landscaping wise. I like Jim's thoughts that you can't water this.
No.
You have a summer like last summer,
Yeah.
it's toast.
Yeah.
Summer like this summer would have been great to take it down to bare ground and you'd have a
It
nice
would've-
lawn there
it would've
now.
grown- It would've grown great.
Jim
Now,
would be
is
mowing
that
it twice a
something we
week.
could reach out to Warren Nichols and just see if he has any idea of what we could do
Great
to
idea.
make that look better
Okay,
and try to keep it in the low end of the maintenance spectrum?
okay.
Even if it was layered, so we have the fence, and then we have a little rougher, and then in the center it's sort of nice. So you can stand to have, I mean, maybe eventually shrubs or something that hide the odd growth,
Yeah,
the wild growth, and then you go through the fence to a small mowable area.
Yeah, just make it nice right around the gravesite and the rest can be,
Yeah.
maybe I'll ask Warren for some input and see
Yeah.
what he
How can we make
recommends.
it
I mean, he
work?
was on the commission for so long, so he knows how we work, so he's not gonna,
and I've known Warren I was landscaping and worked with him and stuff too, so yeah.
Yeah.
He was great during kids' sports and stuff. I always enjoyed having him around.
yeah.
He's a good guy.
Really good guy. He'll
Bank
be on the
Street's,
Hall of Fame.
yeah. The Bank Street sign quotes from Young and Fancy. And
Yes.
a new quote for installation.
Well, so we did get a sign quote originally, remember in the,
Did we have that?
yeah, we have two now. So one was 1900 and one is 1750. The 1900 is for, was the original one, which would have had it hanging. And then the 1750 is to have it on the two posts.
Right, between two posts.
Yeah.
What's everything else in, well, that's,
So I
Island
think,
Pond is 2 posts.
two posts.
With the scroll, I think.
And you know what?
Everything
And I
else-
think they weather better. Like if you look at the other ones that are hanging, because they're swinging.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, I think they're,
And that's exposed.
yeah.
That's out there, so it's gonna catch every hunk of breeze that
Yeah.
comes by.
Besides creek, it'll drive the neighbors nuts. I'd probably go with the 2 posts
Just tell them it's their neighbor.
and fix it.
So do you guys want to go with this one? The,
The rigid,
Yeah.
lower priced.
Yeah.
I move we take
Two
the
posts.
1750 offer design plan.
okay. Pretty. Seconded?
Yes.
Whereas Mr. Ford says, any objection? There being none. Item 12. Article 12.
Okay, perfect. All right, so that's that.
And when will that'll be, well, they haven't made the sign.
She's working on that.
On the sign.
On the sign. But but I told her not do this until we had a meeting to vote on that. See,
And bank statements on perpetual care.
yeah, we just, so do you want,
That's covered. Yeah, so, I mean, just set it up, let me know, and I'll run over and we'll have a quick phone call. And
we just want to make sure how it's being
no,
invested.
I think we need to specify. Well, I mean, so the questions I have for her, again, are we part of a bigger fund that's just sequestered out for our purposes on documents? Are we rebalanced with everybody else? Okay, I get it, I don't wanna derail that train. And can we set it up so that all dividends and income go to a separate money market account? Maybe, and then pull that money market account out of the rebalancing process.
Yes.
That way, your money is always
So
there for you to use.
we don't lose it.
What?
So we don't want to lose it.
We can't keep track of it.
Well, it's a nightmare.
Yeah.
And I know I asked you last meeting, was there any more on the funds that had arrived, but
So I think the deposits are, they're almost caught up. So they haven't closed out last year yet because they're
almost
still.
only counts with Adam Grant.
I know, it's not
Bombs
that.
and
Horseshoes.
hand grenades and
I
horseshoes.
I already went in there and I checked. So I'm waiting to hear back. As soon as they know, I will cross-reference
Okay.
my stuff
No,
with their stuff.
I just bring it up because it's
Yeah,
your money.
money. Yeah. Well, not my money, your
Well,
money.
but you know what I mean, it's,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, and when there's a lot of expenditures that we're gonna have coming up for the cemetery, so, the new signs for all the sections, which we'll wait for Cindy for the next meeting on that one. And, just different things. I mean, I know that a couple of the, irrigation lines in Mount Pleasant probably need to be upgraded. They keep cracking, they keep patching them, but we might wanna look at some point at repair, instead of patching all the time, we might
We
want
got a new
to
line
Well,
up there.
put it.
All right, so while you're on that subject, are we at new business yet, boss?
Yes, we're at new business.
All right, so before we get to bills,
Yeah,
it's always a good idea to have a dream list.
okay,
So, some things to think about that have been brought up at other meetings that disappear. So
Yep.
going all the way back to the War Memorial,
yeah,
the pathway. We're making all these plans, but
Yeah.
we don't really have the pathway laid out.
Okay.
So does
That would
Paul
be-
need to get involved?
Well,
But I don't wanna-
Paul already made a layout of that on,
Is that where-
yeah.
That red brick thing,
Yeah.
but so we can know where it is? I mean,
Yeah.
would that be worth those wooden stakes with the orange sprayed on top of them, so we?
But
can have it-
I wouldn't do that until we are ready to move on it
Okay,
because,
well then let me ask you this.
yeah.
What is going to keep you on a hellish week from plopping somebody right there?
Oh, because that section I don't sell lots in.
Okay, there you go.
So, I
I'm
don't.
cool,
sell-
I'm fine with that, I just, yeah. But before we do put the first
But once-
monument down, we need to know where this is going.
Yes.
Right, yeah.
And it's
So-
gotta be laid out.
So what we can do is we could edge it and put down,
Well, if you put some stakes and,
well, I'd just do the little metal tags for now.
Okay.
I'd, instead of having stakes and then I have a
but I
metal
mean, when we get
detector.
close, it's
Yeah.
Jim and a Gravely width,
Yeah.
right? The Gravely blade, is that, do I have
Like
that
the
right?
dingoes, something like
Or
about the
dingo
wide of the,
blade,
as wide as a table maybe.
and then maybe pea stone,
Just make it a gravel walkway for
and
now.
then the,
I,
because
we
concrete.
we don't have any gravel, and I think it's against our rules and regulations to have any gravel, because it gets in the mowers and it spits it up and it dings the
Oh,
stones. So we
then
don't do
really
that.
can't cut until.
I mean, we could do stone
Stone.
dust, but we couldn't do, I wouldn't do anything.
Like
that's-
we can create the base for whatever concrete. and
That's
then
what I was gonna
take
say,
it
it's
out.
gotta be compatible with the walkway.
yeah.
So we don't have to do it again.
At that
Yeah.
point, do like a stone dust walkway, and then we can put the brick
All
or
right, so this
concrete
is
on top.
future planning. So
Right.
So when we get ready to do monuments, that step has to happen
Right.
months.
And once we go out and we procure whoever's going to do the monument, they're gonna give us, like, it's gonna be 6 months before you're gonna receive this delivery, which will give us plenty of time to lay out the
Okay.
pathway and get it going. So
So-
I don't think it's gonna
As long
be,
as that's on paper somewhere, is that the shape we want it to be?
Serpentine?
Yeah, it's
he
just a
wanted
little-
it kinda like
I think it
not
should- I think it
straight.
should meander.
Yeah,
A meandering walk,
yeah.
just
Because when you meander, then it's contemplative.
if
as
it's a
opposed
straight
to
line,
A
it's
to
a
B.
rush, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Definitely.
So a lot of
How
the,
meandering is that walkway he drew a picture of?
it's pretty
You
meandering.
just have the picture
Yeah, yeah.
somewhere. Yeah. I mean, you don't want to overkill it, but.
Right.
Because that just increases your footprint.
Costs.
And then once that's all done, we're gonna sell grave sites on the back side of it.
I
In
don't
that
know
section?
about that. We'll have to go, cross that bridge when we get to
And
it,
we
but,
could put benches out there for if people wanna sit down and.
yeah.
and make it
I'd like to
a-
do some gardens out there or
That
something.
would be a
park
very
or
nice, very nice park.
Yeah. Yeah,
In that one, it's that first section coming in the left.
yeah.
There it is, yeah. See, it's got a little,
So, and he did it because
Where
there's
does
trees
it
here, there's trees here. So it ends in the corner. And originally when we
I was
designed,
gonna end back at the road.
now it ends in the corner. So originally when we designed it, we were gonna do back in this corner, it's supposed to be a cremation wall, like a niche wall.
I thought we weren't doing that.
Originally, that's what we were supposed to do. So it was supposed to go right to the corner.
We could have cremation lots back there instead.
So
Yeah.
So it's, you gotta go
Yeah.
down and you
So it's
walk
gonna
back.
go on both sides?
So this was originally
That
was
was the
supposed to be.
original, but I thought we had switched.
Yeah, now we're going like this.
Yeah, around the backside.
Yeah.
So this needs to go away before
Yeah.
it confuses
Before it
the world.
becomes-
Okay.
No, well, you guys must have voted on this.
Yeah, we did. So this just shows you how it's coming and it's going.
Yeah. Well, see, again, there's another reason why we may want to be thinking about this in a bigger
Okay.
light. So another dream list is irrigation repairs, which is
Yes.
ongoing maintenance, but not exactly cheap, right?
Yeah.
Depends what's broken. If it's sprinkler heads, that's one thing. If
No, it's not,
piping-
it's just piping. We don't have
It's
sprinkler
just the
heads.
black
We
poly
just
pipe
have the
they run.
black, yeah. And what happens is they get hit when we do burials. So when they're digging, it might just get hit a
You get
little.
Classic coupling.
I
And
was
then
gonna say,
they
catch
can-
a couple that.
Yeah, yeah, and then they patch it, but then
And all of a
sometimes
sudden
it
you
like
got a
goes.
200-foot thing with 300 couplings in the middle of it.
Yeah, yeah, so,
And you're
It's
losing
bound to
more
leak.
water than you're putting on the ground.
yeah, yeah.
Maybe we can revamp it and put everything right down so it's right on the road,
It is right on the road.
and they still hit it.
Yeah, because those lots in Mount Pleasant
They're tight.
they're not, yeah, they're very tight. It wasn't well planned out. Now, in all the other cemeteries, we have the lots further back from the road edge. So we don't have that issue, which is kind of nice, but
So it's only an evergreen, or
it's mostly in Mount Pleasant. Yeah, and the majority. And the other thing is we still want to do about the plantings in North Harwich. Against to screen out,
in that front corner, right?
no, the back, because that is on, that's
The back corner
industrial
up against,
property.
our roadway,
Yeah, so that.
the back road.
Like plant a row of Leland cypress
Yeah,
or
something.
or something like that.
And
that'll grow thick
there
and
is
dense
that
and-
new, I guess it's like, almost like a little mini agway, right there, right next to it. It's on that road. It's called
The
Low
farm?
Tide or High Tide, Low
It's a
Tide.
small
Nursery?
nursery
Yeah.
that's there, yeah.
They got some beautiful looking
Oh, do they?
plantings in there, so,
We wanted to go in there the other day.
yeah. So I might have to, if we ever have a chance, maybe we can swing in there and just take a peek.
Well, again, I mean, we give Agway a lot of business, but maybe
Yeah,
they're right around the corner.
yeah,
Maybe they can
right,
procure,
yeah.
You want to put some kind of a garden in that front corner where the street sign is, move the street sign and where the two fence posts are, put something with some shrubs or something there just to make that
Low, something low.
something
Has to
low
be
so
low,
it looks better
Yeah.
than looking at,
Well, if we,
Two
if
ends of
we want to
fence.
do a field trip, I'd love to do that.
well, why don't we just go that way?
Okay,
Go there, Lothrop, and come
Okay.
back. I
All
got a
right.
puppy I'm babysitting, so it's.
all right. All right, and anything else, you guys?
No, but I just think, how we talked about having the
Spreadsheet.
long-range plan
Yeah.
for the veterans thing. I mean,
Yeah.
it's always a good idea just to have, so that's why it's really too bad why we can't meet in our office, your office.
Yeah,
With, like this, so that there's boards that you
Yeah.
can go, okay, here, how are we doing on this? Great, how are we doing on this project? Good.
okay,
'Cause then we're all sitting here trying to think of,
Right.
What do we do? I just think it's more efficient.
yes. Well, we can work on that Google sheet and put them on there, and then people can add, and as they get,
Sheet's all built, it just
Okay.
has to be,
all right.
yeah, I keep forgetting about that.
Uh,
Now we got bills.
Yes, so we have, where are those?
Agway for 676.
Yeah, and those were trees that we purchased for the Arboretum, just to get us over the,
And these come out of the
they-
tree fund,
they come out of the tree fund.
okay?
And then my mileage, which was $70. We also had, in addition to this that came in, we had Village Green, who is doing the CPC article in East Harwich Methodist, a bill for $18,700, which is coming out of that CPC fund. And then we had, I have a new Amazon account, which is great. And I bought flags to flag out monument markouts, which is $10.95. I used to buy them through another company, and they were like $30 and something. So this Amazon account is actually quite good.
Did you do your mileage the right way?
I did. So if
Did you hear that?
I did
She'd
my-
only been doing mileage too.
Not to and from.
No. And they said,
They-
you're doing your mileage wrong. I said, I'll, from now on, do it correctly.
Oh, Deeds, can I borrow your light blue pen and I'll start
Yeah.
signing?
And then, so, can you also sign this? Anytime I do mileage, I always like to have you sign the mileage page as well.
Thanks.
So I have a lot of deeds. I've been selling lots, and after we meet later, I have to go out and photograph some lots for a family who's flying in from California, in Chicago or something. So they're gonna have me just take images. They wanna have the funeral. Their mother passed away, she's here, and they need to purchase a lot. So I have sold to the Watsons, I sold a lot in Evergreen. To the Snecks, I sold a cremation lot in Island Pond. To the Roths, I sold a lot in Island Pond. the Morrisons, Island Pond, the O'Malleys in Mount Pleasant. I sold another additional lot to the Finnerans in Mount Pleasant, and I'll be selling another lot in Island Pond. So I've been very busy with lot sales, which is probably, some of them were pre-planning and some of them were not, so unfortunately.
I had a question in my brain before we started this, and the question is just gone.
Yeah,
Get up, leave the room, come back.
okay.
That doesn't seem to help, because I go all the way downstairs and can't figure out why I've been there. I go back upstairs, I still can't figure out why I've been there.
So then, on the agenda, next, it was that we were possibly visiting other cemeteries, which we are doing. So.
We'll take a peek at those two, and then
So we'll be going to North Harwich, the farm in them, North Harwich?
No, we're not going to the farm.
Oh, okay. Just North Harwich and Lothrop.
No, I think for the farm, if we decide to do like a row of Leland cypresses, maybe we could see if they would be interested in
Yeah,
bidding.
yep. Getting us a price quote,
yeah.
all right.
They'd have to go out and measure how many they recommend.
Yeah, and I did have, so I know that Allen Hall and the Hours have discussed, because it's right on the lot line, they are working together and helping us with that installation of the trees, so they're willing to help.
Maybe they could dig the trench and get dirt in the trench, and we can, then the guy just gotta pluck the trees.
Right, which would be great.
Also, the town wanted us to reorganize.
Oh, so we'll have to do that.
Pick the commissioner and all that.
Yeah, we'll have to, the
chairman.
chair, well, we'll have to do that when Cindy's here at the next meeting. Want to do it at the next meeting? Or do you want to just do it now?
No, Cindy should be here.
Okay, all right. So we'll do it when Cindy is at the next meeting. So let's get our.
Then are we bound on Tuesdays having meetings all the time? 'Cause
If-
Kim will have an awful lot of appointments on Tuesdays.
If we change it, we can. What we should do is that we'll update the website if we change it to a different day. We just have to meet once a month. So you guys decide which day works better for you.
All right, so the first thing, I think the community center is better because your treasure trove is right around the corner.
Yes, I do.
If we need something, you can run down the hall.
I do like that.
It's just much easier.
And so the other thing
Is it not available on Wednesdays is why we're here?
so yes, so on Wednesdays they film their, I guess it's like Dinah does a little reach out to different departments and they interview and what's going on in town, kind of a segment, kind of news that's going on. So she's done me with the Arboretum. She does, the Conservation Trust or the Council on Aging would go in there. And they had 3 interviews today, right in a row. They had like a 9, 9:30, and a 10. So Wednesdays is not good for them.
Well,
But doesn't mean
start
we
with
can't.
this. What day works good for you guys? Not Tuesday.
Yeah, not Tuesdays. Mondays, I play golf.
Yeah, I would not like to do Mondays because I have to prepare. I have,
priorities.
I have to-
I'm being selfish, yeah.
No. You need to do that based on
and
everything you
Cindy
guys are going.
is away a lot of weekends and she comes back on Mondays from New Hampshire,
Okay,
so that would.
Monday's out.
Monday's out. We could check with Cindy to see if Thursdays are okay.
Well, what about, when is the room open up on Wednesday?
So, it's probably open at 11,
Yeah, I don't care
or
about that.
maybe, or we could do 1, or you guys don't want to do it that late in the day.
I mean, I do prefer to get it out of the way in the morning.
Yeah, I do like the mornings.
Yeah.
What time do they start with their
You
meetings?
seem to be busy with people and
Yeah,
stuff.
What time do they start their
Funerals.
interviews?
they start them, I think she started this morning at 9.
All right, so what about Thursdays then?
Or if we can hold the meeting to an hour, we can do it Wednesday
We
morning.
can't do it.
Yeah, the number of times we've got an
Yeah,
hour-
we've got an
and a
hour.
half,
It's been unbunbelievable. So we could try it for
Plus, I'd
Thursdays.
rather not have to get out of there
Right.
You know, be
if
rushed.
something comes up,
Right.
we go, uh-oh, we gotta fix
So,
this.
let
Well,
me,
she's there at 7:30 in the morning, but I really don't want to get up that early.
yeah, yeah, I'm there at 7:30.
I'm old, I don't like getting.
She's the crazy one of the bunch. So there
Okay,
you go.
so we could do Thursdays at 9, but would have to verify with Cindy.
Yeah, so,
And then, so somebody want to make a motion that we move our
so
meetings?
let's, I move. that-
Tentatively?
I move that we, being no objection, that we explore moving the meetings to the first Thursdays, or whatever, second Thursday, whatever we do.
Moving. Well, it's supposed to be the
Just cycle
first.
All the meds, the doctors have been
It's
showing up on
supposed,
Tuesday.
it's supposed to be the first
First Tuesday, first
Thursday
Thursday.
of every month.
Yep.
I'll check with Jamie as well to see if that's available. I'm sure it is. All right, and then Steve, you're seconding?
I second it.
And I will check with Cindy and Jamie and see if that's okay. And then I'll get back to you guys, all right?
Okay, I can't do it the 11th through the 14th, just so you know.
So then we would do, the next meeting would be September the 7th,
7th, yeah. Maybe, yeah.
if it's possible,
Yep.
okay? All right? Do I have an emotion to adjourn?
So, moved.
Seconded?
What time is it?
being no objection, get up and leave.
9:52.
Yep.
Okay.
You guys have
Steve-
to see this.
Steve, you gotta push the button off.